Hey guys, how y'all doing? My name is Kieran, and this is Fox Off RPG. So today, we're going to be creating some characters. For our Gods of the North game, our party's wiped out, we only have Lenway left. So we're going to create a bunch of new characters, and we're going to be using Barrows and Borderlands from here on out. Why? Because I like it. More is better, in my opinion. It's also just a brilliant game, and I think you guys will all like it. Now, we're going to not add much, if any, of the weird stuff in this. Like robots, aliens, and stuff like that. Maybe from time to time I might feel like creating a dungeon or something like that. I might throw in some of that stuff in there just to keep it a bit different. But if I was doing this for a group, I would absolutely throw everything in. Yeah, why not? You know, it's already an excellent game setting adventure thing. Why not have the tools from the actual system we're using, like radiation damage, and robots, aliens, all this awesome weird stuff. So we're going to create characters. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over character creation. I'm going to talk about some of the stuff we're going to be using from this. And we're just going to roll up a character on screen just to show you guys how it's done. And then I will roll up a couple more off screen and then we can show them off and see how they work for in the game. So, because reason why is if I roll up one, you're going to pretty much know how to do it. This is the character sheet. It's very simple. Piece of card here. I'm going to print more of these off just on normal paper. I'll be using these. It's handy. But yeah, that's pretty much how it's going to go. But first, I'm going to write things off on this for our character we're going to be having a look at. I have the same thing pretty much written out for the most part. Most of the relevant stuff that's here is here. So, yeah. Also, actually, I want to say we will be using some of the stuff from Radioactive Boogaloo, which is a free supplement for Barrows and Borderlands. It will work with OSE stuff, no problem. I'm going to link that. I'm going to show a separate clip I have going over what we're going to add into it. It's not going to be much, but I do talk about some stuff that's in it that might be relevant for your games, or if you want to do the exact same thing I'm doing and you want to go all weird and add all the cool offs and stuff on it, you can use it. So this is the supplement I was talking about. Barrows and Borderlands is our game, yeah. And then we have additional rules. Radioactive Boogaloo. So I know Matt will be putting out more Radioactive Boogaloos. This is going to contain stuff like new races, classes, items, gear, locations, interesting optional rules or other rules and stuff like that. Things you can add into the game as you feel fit to. As you can see, there's a bunch of stuff here, but don't worry about that. It talks about advancing beyond 10th level. And new classes here. But yeah, we'll go down through this now. We'll talk about what I'm going to be using in our game. So here has Portal Adventure, like I did mention. The Kickstarter is coming out. Our Kickstarter might be out from the time this video is actually up, or be coming out maybe a couple hours later. So keep an eye out for that. But yeah, Portal Adventure stuff here. All the races which are going to be included. I'm just putting this out now because, you know, it's going to be awesome, guys. New classes, all the classes together, where you can find them in the different books. But we'll be going over that again at another stage, don't worry. But we're talking about our Gods of the North game. Now, additional races. So we have Demon Blooded, Dark Starborn, Demon Blooded version 2. Or variant 2, a grey, which is literally an alien, a saurian, slime, and vampire. Basically, we're not going to be using any of these. Almost certainly. But if I was playing with a group of people, not just solo, I almost certainly would include some of them. Maybe these would be hireling guys or NPCs in the world. I'd have them as that. But one of them we'll almost certainly be using is the paladin. For obvious reasons, paladins are awesome. Why wouldn't we want a paladin? And as I was talking about before with Barrows Borderlands, you have your hit dice, but you also have a minimum hit point. So this prevents you from having like a fighter with 1 hit point. It works out really well. Again, I've played with Matt many times, and just games on the server as well. This is a Geiger, is a subclass of the Paladin, is basically a radioactive version. So instead of turning undead, you're going to turn mutants. So it's kind of cool. I might include mutants in my Gods of the North game, and I'd say these are just going to be corrupted from, you know, the dark forces in the world. We'll see. But Mecha Ronin, which is basically, robot samurai, I should say. Robot Slayer, basically a normal human who is pureborn, can't be a mutant of any kind, and he's going to destroy robots. Mage Slayer, they go after mages. They're have a symbiotic relationship with an alien. Starbarian's Dragon Slayer. So it's basically something from outside the world, and they come in to basically hunt down dragons and stuff like that. Sorcerers of the blood and godflesh. Basically, this class is gonna change its appearance and what it can do based on certain points it has to change how its physical body is and use it as a weapon. Chiromancer. But I think we're probably going to be looking at just using Paladin. We might have Chiromancer, or Chronomancer, I should say, sorry. We'll see. Anyway, let's get back to character creation. So yeah, I think we'll get into character creation now. Give me 1 second, guys. Ta-da! Where did it go? I don't know. Here's the booklets. So I'll read over some of the booklets here. Just the main one, because it's going to have all the character creation stuff in of Men and Mutants. It's going to be very simple, very straightforward stuff, and I'll explain what everything on the character sheet means. So obviously we have our strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, charisma, and radiation resistance. So when it comes to character creation in B&B, Barrows Borderlands, we usually roll 4d6, drop the lowest. Obviously you have your name, you have your race, you have your character class / level, your hit dice. So if you're going to be a fighting man, it's going to be 8 hit dice. The hit dice is 8, obviously. Then your alignment. We then have your minimum, which would be like your current hit points that you have, and your maximum. Your taco, your character alignment, your AC plus any modifiers, and your movement rate. Your movement rate is going to basically be the same as an OSE. This is super highly compatible. So when it comes to there's a ton of spells in the psionics and the wizard's book here. Psionics and sorcerers, there's a ton of spells. Cleric spells, wizard spells, psionic stuff. But if there is spells that show up on, let's say, Gods of the North, and they're not in here, we're just going to use the OSE book. It works straight out of the box, fine, simple, easy to go. Actually, no, we'll talk about it now in a minute. Yeah, and then we're going to have a different modifier charts we will look at, so we can have an extra bonus to hit and to damage. We could have an extra bonus to our ranged hit, ranged damage, breath savings throw, and defense. So that's going to increase our AC. Constitution adjustments, you're talking about hit point adjustments and radiation saves. Radiation stuff does not matter for us unless I decide to create a little dungeon somewhere or an offshoot of something. I might throw something in there. Intelligence is the amount of languages you do know, or well, the amount of languages you can know. How we usually run this in B&B is you'll start off with knowing common. So whatever the game you're going to be playing is, whatever the common language is. Then we have, say if you have plus 2 extra languages. We say that's your ability to learn extra languages, so you don't know them out of the gate. Maybe if you're a wizard, maybe your GM or judge will allow you to know more than one. The wisdom modifier is going to add to your sorcery saves. Charisma, you have pluses or minuses to your reaction, your loyalty, and your maximum retainers. You then have your base saving throw for most. I think it's all races classes. You're going to roll a d20, and you have to roll under your base. For most of them, it's going to be an 16. Then you might have say if you have +2 as a fighting man to your death savings throw, well, you need to get a 14 or under. So it's pretty straightforward. So yeah, with the saving throw, I got that mixed up. So when you do the saving throw, you want to get above your saving throw number. So if you have a 16, you want to get 16 or more. So when you level up roughly every odd level, you will gain an extra point. So you'll start off at 16, and then you go down to 15, let's say level 3. Then you want to get a 15 or more. So if you're level 9, you're going to have 12, I think it is. So then you want to get 12 or more. Simple, straightforward. Plus, then if you had a plus in your death saving throw, for example, you then add that on, so that 12 would now become a 10 or more. So it's very simple, very straightforward. And of course, you can change things as you wish, because that's just how the game works, how the game can work. It's not a big deal. Anything can be changed or modified to suit your needs, but you should learn how this game system works. There we go. Now this will primarily use silver, but it's not really a big deal. When we're starting off a character, we're going to roll 4d6 to figure out how much silver we have. Starting off, when you're creating your characters normally. With this game, what I'm thinking of doing is we're actually going to be starting a couple weeks after the last sessions left off. That's the way I'm thinking of doing it, but we'll see. And the characters that we're playing as have some XP. They haven't leveled up or anything like that, but they do have some XP. So that's what I'm thinking of doing. If I was doing this for play for a group, I would not do that. I would continue things forward, but this is solo play, and otherwise we could be stuck repeating the same sort of stuff over and over again. I do not want to do that. I want to progress through this game adventure. That's just me, and it's just going to be more fun for myself. If I was playing this for other people and they were doing it, I'd just do what I want. I'd be like, okay, now you have to create a brand new level 1 character. There you go, they're level 1, start off your adventure, join up or start a new party, whatever the case may be, and then I would add more Barrows Borderlands stuff into it, more wacky stuff as well. And I would keep certain things allowed, like humans are going to be very common in this, dwarves are going to be common in this, we might have some fairies and kobolds allowed. If you notice, there's no elves in this, so I may or might not add elves. There's simple ways of doing that, don't worry about it. I can just use OSC stuff, and the conversion for all this stuff is fine because it's based off the same base system. Well, this is much more added to it, and it's much better. And here's our modification stuff here for our charts and the different classes here. Like I said, we're going to be adding the paladin for sure. So if I get a character that would suit well for paladin, I will absolutely use that. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll up our character here, and then I'm going to fill some stuff out here, as you can see, and I will come back with several characters sort of done up. So I think I'll move this down a bit. Probably see that a little bit better. And we have our dice tray. Oh well, the Barrows and Borderlands set as our dice tray, which I love using because it's handy and stuff doesn't go everywhere all over the floor. So let's roll strength. We're going to do strength, dexterity, con all down the line like this. So that's 11, 15 strength. That is awesome from the get-go. That's 5, that's 9, that's 12 dex. Now the charts in this are going to be different than OSE. You'll see, guys, it's not a big deal. So con, that's 8, it's 14. 15. That's 6, 7. Ooh, we're kind of dumb. We might be a strong fighter. 5, 3, 9. Wisdom. Charisma. I'm going to roll radiation resistance anyway, just in case I decide to add some stuff in later. So that's 8, 9, 10. And radiation resistance. 6, 9, 10, 11. So I think we'll make this guy human. So when it comes to human, we will have well, this is going to be a human fighter. So he's going to have 1d8 hit points. But when it comes to humans, they get an extra bonus automatically for rolling dice for the hit points. So you're going to roll this twice. You take the highest. So that's 5, That's 8. We take the 8. Now, say if we got 5 and a 4, we'll get 6 points because that's the minimum we're going to have. So our hit dice is in D8. Our hit points, let's put HP up here. HP is 8. So we have maximum hit points at level 1, which is great. Also, humans have another cool little benefit I'm going to read out to you now. Let me just get the page. I love these booklets. They are a lot of fun. So humans, they gain a +1 to charisma and +1 to con. So our con is going to be now a 15. And our charisma is going to be 11. Don't worry, I'll clean this all up. So again, we get the best of 2 when we're on a hit dice. If tied for initiative, human-only parties may act first. So if we have a whole party of humans, they will go first before anyone else. We also gain a +1 to loyalty, morale for retainers and mercenaries, which is awesome. So we're going to be a fighter. We're going to be a fighting man. So our prime requisite for that is strength. We get a 10% bonus to XP. Excuse me. Draw 10% in the top corner there. Hope you guys can see that well. So, yep. So, our pluses. So, for our strength, we have a strength of 15. So, we can just get +1 to hit and +1 damage. So, it's going to be +1/+1. Simple. For our dexterity, we have dexterity of 12. We get nothing, so we leave that blank on any of them. So it's all 9 to 12. It's 0. So constitution modifier, we have a 15 now. We get a +1 to HP adjustment and +1 to radiation saves. So our hit points now becomes a 9. So con, alright, +1. +1. Simple, straightforward. Intelligence, it is 7. So basically our character is dumb and probably can only communicate and can't read very well. Wisdom is 9. We get no bonuses to our sorcery saves. Charisma modifier, we have 11. That gives us 4 maximum retainers, but we get +1 loyalty and morale for our retainers. So what I'm going to do is we're going to have a +1 here. I'm going to write +1 and 4. So +1 and 4. So we gain a 0 bonus to our reaction, a +1 to our loyalty, and a 4 maximum. And the fighting man. Now this is where it gets pretty interesting. So you can see the fighting man, he levels up at 2001 experience. We have a magic user who's going to level up at 2501 experience. A cleric levels up at 1501. This is all from level 1 to 2, of course. Halfcaster, which is one of my favorite classes, levels up at 2226. So what Halfcaster is you're going to gain some of the benefits of a fighting man with some of the benefits of a magic user. So you'll be able to wear more armor. You're going to have a D6 instead of D8 hit points. You must have one hand free to be able to cast spells. When you first create a character at level 1, you will have 1 spell. A magic user is going to have 3, and a cleric, I think they have 3. Thief has some awesome stuff in here we can use. You have your gamma class, birth signs. We do the birth sign stuff now in a minute. So, a fighting man, he's going to gets to choose a single weapon, right? To gain a +1 to hit and +1 bonus damage with that specific weapon. So if you chose like a 2-handed sword, you'll gain a +1 and a +1. Combine that with our +1/+1 from our strength. Our taco is going to go from a 19 down to a 17 out the get-go, which is awesome. So I'm going to write that in. Weapon WP, weapon mastery. WP and WPM, that's right. WPM, weapon mastery, +1, +1, +1. Also, this is something that's really cool. While using a mastered melee weapon, their attack rate improves at 3 to 2 at levels 1 to 6. So what that means is at your third turn of combat, the third round of combat, right? You'll then be able to make 2 attacks with that weapon, but only if it's your fighting weapon, your weapon mastery weapon. And then it's going to go up at levels 7 to 10, and then that's the max. And that'll go from every second turn you'll do an extra attack, which is pretty cool. Magic users. Yep. So I just have weapon master +1/+1. I haven't put that in yet. I haven't decided what we're going to use. This is just going to be character creation. So then we're going to move on to birth signs. Again, birth signs are awesome little things. So what birth sign is, it is, like it says here, cosmic lottery. So I'm going to roll a d20 and I'm going to explain what I rolled and what it actually means. So we got a 12. So what's this 12 mean? So that means we have the birth sign of aqua, or water. It's going to show as a serpent, and we're going to gain a +1 to death saving throws. Okay. So that's pretty awesome. And I just have a way in this to talk about how like our character is going to have it, and be a fun way to introduce it into backstories. So it can be it has to be a positive or a negative. So that's when you want to get into more roleplay sort of stuff. So let's get into, go back a page. I'm going to save 16. Save is 16. Death save. Death save is a base 16. As a fighter, we're going to gain a plus. Oh, it's right here. I'm blind. Silly me. So we're getting +2 to death saving throw for death saves. But now it's a +3 when we have our birth sign. So we have the birth sign of the serpent. So our death save is +3. And our powerless save is +2. B sign. SERP, serpent. I put SERP. And we have +2 death save. +1 to death. +1 to death. This is all going to be transferred into a sheet. I might just put it onto this one here along with other ones, just to keep things simple and straightforward. Then we have other skills. So how these are going to work, it's sort of like background stuff. So just let me grab the right dice. I'm going to roll a D100 and then I'll tell you what that means. So we got a 32. So on a 32, we're going to choose an experience from set 1. Okay. What's set 1? Set 1 is going to have different backgrounds where you came from. So you apprentice, baker's boy, beggar, brewer's assistant, carpenter, cook, dairymaid, domestic servant, fisherman, footman, goat herder, gong farmer, herdsman, glassblower, laundress, paper ink maker, farmer, porter, shepherd, and winemaker. Now, the next one up is from 36 to 60 on a D100. You'll get one to choose one from set 1 and one from set 2. The middling, so your common, middling, and gentry. If you roll a 61 to 80, choose one from each of the 3 sets. Give you an example of what's in gentry. So you're going to do middling first. That's like the middle of the road one. So you have animal trainer, apothecary, artisan, butcher, fletcher, gunsmith, innkeeper, miller, musician, printer, sailor, schoolmaster, slaver, armor smith, soldier, tanner, tailor, watchmaker, and wheelwright. Set 3 is gentry, which you're going to have alchemist, assassin, spy tracker, astrologer, author, botanist, courtesan, duelist, interpreter, lawyer, mathematician. So it goes up in social class. So 81 to 90, choose 2 from set 1 and 2 and 1 from 3. 91 to 95, choose 3 from set 1, choose 2 from set 2 and 3. And 96 to 100, choose 4 from set 1 and 3 from the other sets. And that's going to be informing your background. So we just got 1. So what we're going to do is going to put in footman. That's how we learned to use a sword. Very simple, very straightforward. And that is essentially character creation done, guys. Takes no time at all. How we also do equipment. So, like I said, we're going to roll 46, and we will. That's going to tell us how much silver pieces we're going to have to equip our character. So, what happens is you get 1 week's of supplies. That's going to be your rations, your water, all that stuff. You then get your weapon for free. You then will also have to pay for your armor. And generally what happens, let's look at the armor. So if you have only 18 silver pieces, you can't get better than a 7 armor class. So let's see what we get. Oh no, sorry, it's 3d6. Sorry, not 4. I was thinking of the stats. So we have 5, 8, 9. 9 silver pieces from the get-go. But like I said, we don't need to worry about this anyway. But if we were having a brand new character from the get-go, we would worry about that. Like I said, we're going to have a character who has maybe half the hip, half the XP. I'm just going to give him basic gear. Same with all the other characters. You can get basic gear. You're going to get the weapon of choice and some simple armor that's going to be for them, you know. And basically that is character creation done. So all I have to do is put out some equipment stuff, like the the Radioactive Boogaloo has some other equipment and stuff we can use. We have our chart here for combat, you know, it's awesome. So what I'm actually going to do is talk about the magic a little bit, so you guys can understand what I'm talking about. Oh, that's book 4. Book 2. So the magic system is great. I absolutely love it. And I love half casters. Spell complex. There we go. So this is where it gets interesting. So let's say I'm a first level mage, okay? I want to cast my magic missile at level 1. Let's read what that is. So we can magic user spell level 1. Magic missile. So a bolt of magical energy is released for every 2 cast levels of the caster. Each bolt does 1d4 plus 1 damage each and automatically hits their intended target, who must have been seen when casting. A shield spell will block magic missile. It has a range of 210 feet. So it's a level 1 spell. Let's say we're a level 1 character, okay? So we have instant casting, we have delayed, and we have miscast. Okay, so to get an instant cast at level 1 with a magic missile, we need to roll an 8 or more. Okay, we roll 2d6. Let's just see what we get. That's a 4 and a 5. We got a 5, so we have a delayed reaction. Okay, so that basically means that if we got an 8 or more, an instant cast would be, I say I cast my magic missile, I roll my dice, and I launch my magic missile that turn. Delayed cast means it's basically going to work the way it does in OSE. When it comes to my next turn, it will then use the spell. But if a miscast happens, that's where things get a bit more interesting, lads. So let's look at the miscast table. We have a D100. Let's pretend we miscast, okay? For a bit of fun. So you guys can see what this table can do. Okay, we're going to roll the dice. We got a 90, what was it? 95. Let's go to 95 on the miscast table. The caster has contracted Star Plague. This is going to be referee discretion on how this is going to work. I believe that's in book 4, the adventure and stuff like that. So Star Plague, it can do many different things. Maybe your referee can decide how bad it's going to be. Maybe the Star Plague just reduces your stats over a period of time. Maybe it just decides it kills you straight away. Again, it's going to be referee discretion. I do believe that's in book 4. You can read up on it. Well, let's do this a few more times just to get an idea of what kind of miscasts you can get. Some of them are going to be very benign and not too much, and other ones are going to have massive impact. So we have a 13. Miscast on a 13. Oh my god. The caster's body falls impossibly. Movement is halved. Constant pain. 2d6 damage and lasts for 1 turn. So, we're a level 1 magic user. Let's say we have 4 hit points for argument's sake. Roll 2d6. I have gone to -5. So when it comes to health as well, we'll get to that now in a little bit. But I'm going to roll this another 1 or 2 times just so you guys get an idea. 39. The caster's shadow comes to life and wanders off. They feel incomplete. Like I said, it doesn't. Some of these don't really do anything gameplay wise, but it does give role playing opportunities, and maybe that could have a negative effect down the line. That is a what? A 9. That's a 63. The caster grows a vestigial third eye that burns to look through it. It burns to look through. And we do one more for fun. And that's a 90. Oh, that's 99. 99. The caster lose all known spells. Could you imagine being like a level 8 character and you just lost every spell you knew? Ouch. So there's a lot of fun stuff in here. Yes, psionics. Yeah. Sonic stuff in here as well. Like if you roll a 1, the caster is obliterated. Nothing remains but ash and static. 2 to 4, the spell backfires with cataclysmic force. All creatures in 30 feet take spell damage level times d6. Ouch. 83 to 84, the spell becomes something else entirely. Referee chooses a terrifying or narrative consequence. Maybe if you're fighting against a big monster or demon in a game, doesn't matter what game it is, maybe you accidentally summon another one. Like something like that. It's so cool. Yeah. I love this game, guys. But yeah, I'm going to go over and make some other stuff. Put other characters up, when it comes to learning spells, if you do have a magical character, what I'm going to do is, so when you have a magic character in this first level, you gain, I think it's 3 spells, okay? So what I'm thinking of doing is having that 3 down to 2 and then use the OSE chart for each spell level. I think that's the way I'm going to do it. It'd be simple to use, because in this game, to learn any spells, you do have to go through a process, but we don't I'm not sure how many spells actually show up in Gods of Forbidden North. So like you've got a spell book or like scrolls or anything like that. I'm not sure if we're going to get a ton of them or not. So yeah, we'll figure that part out. It's not a big deal. I'm going to find out what other characters we're going to have. But yeah, I shall return and we'll see what kind of other characters we have, guys. Alright, thank you and goodbye. Well, I shouldn't say goodbye. I mean, I'll be back down a little bit and we can have a look at the characters we have. So these are the characters. I rolled up 4 in total. This is the first one we made ourselves on camera. I'm going to make another one off when I have more free time. But I just want to show these guys off. It's a good selection. So we have our human fighting man, Elric. He's a strength 10, so he's a +1 to damage and +1 to hit. Dexterity 12, Constitution 15, so he gets a +1 for HP and radiation resistance. He's a 7 intelligence, 9 wisdom, 10 charisma, and 11 radiation resistance. So when it comes to the loyalty stuff, he has a +0, +1. +1. Okay, that's wrong. That should be like a 4 on the charisma, I think. 4 or 5. That doesn't matter. Anyway, I'll fix it later. But yeah, you get an idea what it is. So he has a base save of 16. He's a +3 for death and +2 for paralysis. The reason why he has a +3 for death because he gains 1 from his serpent birth sign. He has weapon mastery. I haven't decided which weapon it's going to be. But yeah, he's a 10% experience bonus. We then have our half-casters. Again, half-casters are awesome. I love them. I think they're probably one of my favourites classes, even though there's tons of amazing classes in this game. And you include Radioactive Boogaloo. I just think it's just lots of fun. So again, how these guys work, they're part mage, part fighting man. So he's 13 strength, which gives him a +0, +1 to damage, but we have a +2 in total because his birth sign of crown gives him +1. And he's a 9 dexterity, 18 constitution, which gives him a +3 to hit points and to radiation resistance. So that's why he has 8 hit points instead of just like the maximum of 6. I rolled a 5 +3 is then 8. Intelligence 14. He knows 4 extra languages or can learn up to. Wisdom and charisma are both 15. Doesn't give any benefits. Oh, sorry, wisdom and 15 doesn't give any benefits, but charisma does. So I gain a +1, +2, +6 for my loyalty, for my reaction, loyalty, and a number of retainers. Humans gain a +1 to loyalty for retainers. Here's our magic user, Revox Crow. 9 strength, no bonus. Dexterity, he gets a +1 to hit with range. 10 constitution, 17 intelligence, up to 7 language he can learn. 9 wisdom, 15 charisma, 14 radiation resistance. So the charisma means he has a +1, +2, +6. Again, he has a +1 for loyalty for being human. Saves are device and sorcery. He has 4 hit points. I rolled the dice, a d4. I got a 2 and then I got a 4. Humans get a choice of rolling twice. If you do, you take the highest. I haven't put any equipment like the other guys. Mages or magic users have an attack go of 20. He's a birth sign of an eye, which gives him +1 to firearm hits. Skills, apprentice, apothecary. I have that for the other guys, except for one of them I haven't written them in yet. It's not a big deal. Again, I put in the 3 starting spells. I might continue with the 3 or the 2. I don't know. It doesn't really matter at this point. It's just showing off how this sort of system works. We have a sleep spell, read magic, and magic missile. He has a 10% bonus to experience points. Now we have our last one, which is the dwarf paladin, numeric Colemane. His hit points of 8. He rolls a d8 for hit points when you level up. 18 strength, which gives you a +2 and a +3 to melee and to damage. Dexterity 14, +1 to hits with range. 10 constitution, 10 intelligence, 10 wisdom. No bonuses there. 15 charisma. Charisma is what we're going to use for our paladins. I'll show you what that is in a minute. Which means we get a +1, +1, +6 to our reaction, loyalty, and max number of retainers. And we have our 12 radiation resistance. Taco 19. And since we are dwarf, we can use small or medium weapons only. He has a +2 to architecture, +2 to search, and +2 to hear noises, and 60 foot infravision. Bird sign is a moon, +1 to firearm damage. So what does this mean here in Barrows Borderlands? So for architecture and search, if you want to find something in architecture that's missing, you need to look in a certain area, and you will only find things in that area. Same with searching in a room. You want to search for a specific thing. Maybe you're trying to search for a hidden thing in the wall, a button, a hidden door. That's what you'll use. But if you're a normal thief, you're going to have something similar. You have a set of skills you can put points into, and after so many levels you get extra points to put into these. It's basically a buy-in. And how that will work, say if you had just +2 to search as a thief, you're going to be able to search the entire room for everything. So just so you know the difference. And he's a +10 experience point bonus. But yeah, that's it, guys. Actually, let's look at the paladin. This is an Radioactive Boogaloo, and we have a +2 to all saves. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. Paladins of Lawful Good and Chaotic Good may heal up to 2 hit points per day per level. That's not a lot, but it does go up as you level up. Obviously, you can use Cure Diseases once per day as per spell usage, as to what the spell says, essentially. So if you're basically an evil paladin, you do the opposite. You can inflict damage instead of healing, and it has its own rules for that. But we're going to be good guys, quote unquote good. We could be chaotic good, which could be fun. Divine Protection, we're immune from all natural diseases. So we have all the +2 to everything, and we cannot get sick from sickness, like diseases essentially, and other things, except for lycanthropy and vampirism. Chaotic Good. Well, when we have the Lawful Good, Chaotic Good, we also gain a +1 to our AC versus evil creatures, and then chaotic evil and chaotic or unlawful evil basically have the opposite sort of stuff. We have our own turn and dead chart, which we can use from level 1. As you can see, we're going to roll 2d6, and on a 7 or more we can make that many undead turn away. So yeah, at our level. So if you roll a 9, we can make 2 second level, and at 3 we had to roll a 11, which is pretty high. And we have the spell and detection. These don't come into level 3 and 8. So yeah, that's it, guys. That's a look at our 4 characters we rolled up. One of them we rolled up on screen, the other 3 we rolled up off screen just to make things go a bit quicker. And I'm going to roll up one more, so you'll see all these guys again in the next episode of Gods Mid North. This is episode 10.5, and the next episode is going to be session 11. So thank you guys for checking this out. I'll talk to you again soon. Thank you and goodbye.